Welcome to Between the Shelves, the premier Save-O Library podcast. I am your host, Alex, and this week we are doing a What Are You Into? And who are we talking with? Nope.
You almost got there.
And who's into what?
What's into where? And how?
Tory and Kristina are here.
The stars of the podcast.
Stars? Wow.
Most frequent guests, at least.
I think that grants star status.
Definitely.
If there were credits on here, I would want to be and Kristina Feeney.
And featuring.
No, just and.
Introducing.
No, not introducing, just the end at the end of the credits. Like all
And sign? Or and word?
and word.
It's like a bloated cast, and then they always have like the Oscar winner from like decades before who's
the
like...
most small role of all
yeah,
time.
he had 2 minutes of screen time.
And you get nominated for Best Featured Podcast Guest
Yeah.
for the one line.
It's a What Are You Into episode, and we're talking about what we're into. We haven't done one of these in so long. Should we just...
We haven't been
what do we
into
do?
anything.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Oh, hey, we have to do it now that we're official.
Because we have the official podcasting crew here, I have to make the official podcasting pitch.
The call to action.
Yes, which is...
Smash that like button.
And...
Subscribe. We don't have a like button. Subscribe.
And...
Review.
5 stars only, please. I think that's it. Did we cover it?
I think that's it.
All right. All the housework, is that what it's called? What? No.
No.
The groundwork?
Housekeeping?
Housekeeping, thank you. Housekeeping is out of the way. Now time for the fun stuff. What are we into? Who wants to go first?
I think tradition
Tradition.
allows for you. Is that what you're into?
Always.
Fiddler?
I could do that every single What Are You Into? Okay, I'll start things off on a sour note. The first thing I'm into is, I think most people have seen this at this point. It is the Netflix miniseries Adolescence. Have either of you seen this?
No.
No, there's no dragons in it.
There's
Or spaceships. Those are my 2 requirements.
Okay, well,
I
unfortunately...
could challenge that, but anyway, what did you think of Adolescence?
I really, really liked it. The Emmy nominations just came out. It picked up 13 Emmy nominations. I was happy to see that. If you are not familiar with the show, it is the harrowing and heartbreaking story of the Miller family, an unassuming middle-class family in suburban UK, whose lives are suddenly changed forever one morning when the police raid their house and arrest their youngest son, 13-year-old Jamie, on suspicion of murdering a girl in his class. So it's a 4-part miniseries, which is why I watched it. I don't really watch many shows, but miniseries, I can meets me halfway from my comfort zone of movies and the commitment that is a TV show. It's a 4-part miniseries. Each episode is an hour long, and it focuses on the story from a different perspective each episode. So,
Like The Slap.
I've not seen The Slap, but I feel like I should see that. It's probably similar to this in format. So one episode is from Jamie's perspective. One episode is from the lead detective in the case's perspective. One is from Jamie's psychologist's perspective, and one is from Jamie's father, his perspective. And the other unique thing about this show, the unique thing about this show is it's a one-shot. So the hour-long episode is one continuous shot set across these enormous, in some cases, sets. I believe the second episode is just the school. Like, they go down the hallways, they'll go outside. It's just these long, winding shots. I didn't find anything online about how the production, how they actually accomplished this, but man, it's so well done. Like, you forget that it's happening because it's so smooth, and it's just very extremely clever cinematography, and the direction is really on point. It doesn't use it as a gimmick. It uses it to enhance the story. And, it never gets too distracting either. Instead, it just gets you more immersed in the scenes. And you just can't look away. I mean, these episodes fly by in an instant. Stephen Graham, who plays Jamie's father, also co-wrote the series with the writer Jack Thorne. He's an award-winning screenwriter. Both of them are up for Emmy nominations, and Owen Cooper plays the son, Jamie. He also got an Emmy nomination, and he's one of the youngest ever to be nominated for an Emmy. And in fact, if he wins, he will be the youngest Emmy award winner ever. And I don't know what his competition is, but it is a phenomenal performance. Both him and Stephen Graham. I think Stephen Graham's performance is outstanding. Both of them were nominated. Very happy to see that. And I hope they come home with the gold, because it's really something to behold. It's captivating. Everyone in the show is great, but they are definitely the standouts. So yeah, I this is my favorite show of the year so far. I really, really recommend it. Adolescence. It's on Netflix, 4-part miniseries. Hopefully it'll come out on DVD or something soon so we can have it at the library, but definitely check it out.
I have one question.
Yes.
Did he do it?
I don't know if I should say. It's never explicitly said one way or the other. So it does leave some ambiguity. It's very, very interesting, and it's not a continuous story either. Each episode jumps ahead in time, days or a good amount of time. So you do get the story from a lot of different perspectives and reflection on what's happening, and it's just a really well told story about what a family would go through if they had to go through this, but it's also touches on toxic masculinity and all these things. That's just, I don't know, it's just an outstanding all around great show. That's what I got. The Adolescence.
Sounds good.
It is good. Who wants to go next?
So I've been playing Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
She's doing it.
Which is named terribly.
I was going to say, one of the video game titles.
Of all time.
It's one of the video game titles of all time. Honestly, probably not the most confusing video game title I've ever played, but it's up there. It's kind of hard to talk about without giving like major spoilers, but in the game you are playing as a team who's attempting to destroy the Paintress, who every year kills people based on their age.
Like The Giver.
Kind of, yeah. And it's sort of going in reverse.
Not arbitrarily though. It's like a worldwide event.
Yes, yeah. Everyone. So on a specific day, everyone who is a particular age, like 34.
Is it a different age every time?
It goes down.
Oh.
So then it's 33, then it's 32. So it goes down. So you're Expedition 33, and you're trying to defeat her before she kills everyone who's turning 33. And it's super fun. It's a turn-based combat system, but kind of updated. You do have to like parry and dodge and counter. And then like at some point in the game, they take off the damage cap. And then it gets even more fun because you can create these insane builds where like you're just one-shotting these super bosses that have 4 billion HP. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of difficulty setting. Well, there's 3 difficulty settings. So I played on easy, and it was still a little bit of a challenge for me. Like I did die, which is unusual when I play games on easy, that's why I like to play games on easy, because then I don't need to worry about anything. This one had like, parrying and dodging are so essential to the combat system. You have to do it, and if you're not good at it, bosses will one-shot you from the get-go.
So what does the difficulty setting even change if you have to still engage with that mechanic?
I think
does it just like make it the window a little bit wider?
Yes. So it increases like the dodge window. So it's much easier to dodge than it is to parry. And then I know they recently like did a patch where like they even increased the dodge window by like 40% on easy to make it even easier. Because there are some things you can't dodge. There are special attacks that require other things. So there's a lot going on there. There's a bunch of great characters. Andy Serkis is one of the voices.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Did he do mocap for it?
No. It was created, it's an indie game. It was created by like a small team in France. And I think they did all the mocapping themselves.
It has an interesting. I've not played the game, but it's a forerunner, I think, for Game of the Year. Like it's getting lauded with praise, and I will try to play it before the end of the year. But I don't know. I have a pretty stacked queue right now with games. But yeah, it's a French team, like you said, and I guess they are all or most ex Ubisoft developers, which Ubisoft had a went through a whole bunch of bad turmoil, firings, and a whole bunch of bad press and a bunch of stuff that caused some people to leave. So it's cool to see that they landed on their feet and then some.
And the game is super French. I think that's very important to know. It's incredibly French.
Everyone's wearing beret.
Yep.
And so EXP, you get baguettes.
There are secret weapons that are baguettes. Like
that's too much.
That's how French
you can get a mime outfit, I think.
Yeah. So there are mimes that you have to fight, which are like super bosses, and then they unlock like the most French outfits. You can get like the striped shirt.
That's crazy that they leaned into it like that.
I guess if you're French,
I love it.
And have a sense of humor.
Yeah, I like that they're not taking themselves too seriously. And you know, it's nice to add a little bit of levity to a game that's about, you know, murdering holocausts.
Yeah.
They do a lot of that.
I'm gonna stop bringing up French stereotypes and just assume they're in
they like curse in French and stuff. Like a lot of like the there's a lot of French flavor to it. Not just the fact that like the Eiffel Tower is literally in the game, but like other stuff.
Nice. I can't wait to check it out. Tori, what do you got?
Okay. Surprisingly, I also have a video game.
Whoa.
But I'm behind by potentially decades, depending on how you look at it. My game is Pokemon.
Heard of it?
Specifically Pokemon Shield, which I think is from 2019.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So not the oldest game. So I do have history with Pokemon. I'm not like a complete
noob.
Fool. Yes. Like, because, you know, I was a child at the time that it's
unavoidable.
Right. So I watched the movie in the theater when it came out in the day, and I collected the cards and didn't know what to do with them because I was 6. And I played the games. I think I had Blue and Yellow, and then at one point I had Fire Red. And I never beat any of them because they were very difficult to me, a non-gamer. Mm-hmm. Mostly because of it's kind of a game about teamwork where you are in charge of developing the team, and if you don't spend the time to make sure that your whole team is on point, you will get killed because your main person that you focused on has a weakness that can't be overcome.
And once it's exploited, there goes your whole strategy.
There goes the whole strategy. But that made me avoid the games for a very long time, even though famously my mom has acquired for us every Nintendo console over the years. I just never bothered playing them again. But recently, I think mostly because Kristina is into Pokemon and will talk to me about it, I was like, hey, what's one of the games that you would recommend for me to try? And she recommended Sword and Shield, so I tried Shield, and they've made it easy enough for me to play, so I have been having a very good time playing it.
Do they have difficulty settings in the new Pokemons?
No, but they did change
more accessible?
Yes, they fixed the problem that I had, so now that there's a feature called EXP Share, where when you fight, everyone in your team gets experience
Shares the
points.
Bounty.
Yes, they get less than the person who like completed the fight Pokemon. But they all are leveling up continuously no matter what you're doing.
That was always an annoyance of the earlier games.
Yes. So they fixed that, and now I think are going back when they're doing remakes of the games and adding it to old ones like Diamond and Pearl, which I might play next. But so it's made it so that I can play the game in the way that I know how, which is use one guy the whole time who's super powerful. But then if I do need somebody else in a pinch, they also are strong enough to help me out. Yeah. So, yes. There's also a lot of new cute Pokemon. I was pretty familiar with like the original 151.
Don't forget that one.
I can't forget the one. But hadn't known a lot of them in between, and the ones in this game are very cute. Specifically, Score Bunny. My favorite.
Is that your starter?
It is my starter.
I don't even know.
I'll show them to you. I brought.
Sure. I also stopped after 151, but I've been poke curious. No.
Listeners can't see this, but this
viewers
is Score Bunny.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Isn't he cute?
I like how he has like an iPhone glued to his forehead.
An iPhone. A bandage.
Kraft cheese slice.
And it's on his feet, too.
They just slapped it on his forehead. A lot of Pokemon have the Kraft cheese slapped onto their forehead.
It makes him more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Power of cheese.
So he's my favorite. He's a small fire bunny who turns into a emo teenage bunny who turns into a big soccer star fire bunny who kicks a hot rock.
Because the game takes place in Pokemon version of England.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
My other favorite is Rosalia because she is almost unbeatable sometimes. She is like a rose monster who can heal herself by stealing the energy from the person she's fighting. The Pokemon she's fighting. So sometimes she will end a fight with having taken no damage at all, which is a lot of fun for me. So those two have made it possible for me to... I beat all the gyms in the game.
Wow.
And now I'm about to move on to whatever's next. The championship.
Wow. Look at you.
Look at me.
You're a gamer now.
Ah.
You are.
I'm a
You're
Pokemon
one of
master.
us.
Well, not
We'll
yet.
see.
Well,
You gotta defeat... You gotta
Leon,
do the champion.
Sure, but I'm gonna. So
You would do that to your best friend Hop's older brother?
yeah. So that's me playing a game
Nice. Are you playing it on the what hardware
on
is
the
that?
Switch.
Switch.
It's on
Okay.
Switch, yep.
Nice.
And I'm hoping now when the new game comes out in the fall that I will play it, but I've heard some things about the gameplay that sounds like, again, they've made it so that it's unfriendly to me.
Is this one of the 3D ones or one of the 2D top-down perspective Pokemon games?
3D?
They're all 3D
Yeah.
now.
They don't make the top-down ones anymore?
Mm-mm.
Boo. Okay.
But it looks very good.
Nice.
The animation's beautiful and the music is good. A lot of homages to music from the original games. So where I'll be walking around and go, oh, I know this song.
Nice. Should I keep it going with video games for my
guess
thing,
so.
or should I? Okay. Well, okay. I was gonna save it for last, but I'll go. Just keep it going with the video games.
Gonna jump the shark, as they say.
Can I guess what yours is?
We already had the Jaws. No, I know you can guess, but you won't get it. It's not the one you think I'm going to talk about. The game I was going to mention is called Atomfall. It came out earlier this year, like around February, I think. It's set in an alternate 1960s Britain, 5 years after a devastating nuclear disaster at Windscale site has left northwest England quarantined. You wake up in a bunker in the quarantine zone with no memory of who you are or how you got there. All you know is that you must escape. This is sort of a survival mystery horror game that I played on PlayStation 5, but I think it's available on just about everything except for Switch. When this game came out, it was kind of unfairly portrayed as like a Fallout style like ripoff, which is a very, very popular big budget franchise game. But it's really nothing like Fallout. Whereas Fallout is this huge role-playing game that has, tons of stuff to do, takes potentially hundreds of hours to finish. You can sink into it. This is a pretty short game. It only took me about a dozen hours to finish. It's not a role-playing game really at all, other than the fact that you are making choices, and those choices affect the world and the outcome of the game. So basically, your only objective is to get out of this quarantine zone. And you have a lot of different ways of doing that. There are all these factions that are set in this world. There's this like quasi-military sort of organization that's going on that is trying to like maintain order or something, or they may or may not be working with the outside government to kind of control things. There's these like cults that have sprung up around the area. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And you can kind of choose to ally yourself with any one of the factions or a few of them and play them off one another. And I think there's 6 possible endings to the game. And I actually reloaded my save after I finished the game and played out 1 or 2 other endings just to see how it would play out. And they are pretty different. It's really interesting in that way. They put a lot of thought into the design of the game where there's no wasted space. There's no wasted people or choices or anything. It's all interconnected, and allying yourself with one person severs off another route you could have taken on the adventure. So it's really, really well organized. The game itself also is really nothing like Fallout, despite the marketing, where Fallout is this like bleak desert wasteland in all of the games. This game is lush. It's a picturesque countryside, English countryside. It's not what you would think of like a nuclear disaster zone. And it's really interesting. I think the company I think they are English, but because there's just so many nods to like English sci-fi, like there's lots of nods to Doctor Who and things like that in this game. They even go as far as to have like this magical telephone booth that will just kind of pop up out of nowhere. So again, your objective is to get out of this zone. And the way you are kind of figure out how to do that is you have to collect. Well, there's this bunker you find it. I'm not really spoiling anything. You find this pretty early on, and that is your way to escape. And there's all these series of locked doors that you need to get through, and all the doors need to be powered up with these like cells that you need, like these like battery. I don't know what they're called in the game. I forget. But in any case, how you get those cells to unlock the doors is entirely up to you. So if you want to just play this game as just a purely exploration, you can find them out in the wild. If you want to do it where you're interacting with people and kind of unlocking the story, the factions will give them to you for doing things for them. Or if you just want to play this game as just an action game and run around with guns and shoot things, you can just steal them and loot them off people.
So there is combat.
There is combat, but it has much less emphasis on the combat than the Fallout games. It's really focused on the mystery and the interactions and that sort of thing. Another thing I liked about this game is where most role-playing games, like you start to talk to somebody, they give you a mission, and then you pull up your map, and like where you have to go is marked on your map, and it basically leads you a breadcrumb trail like to where exactly you have to go next, and you don't really have to think at all. You just go where they tell you to go and shoot the thing and take back the item that they want. This game is completely different. Everything's vague. They'll just say, oh, I heard that there was like a settler out in this area that might have your next clue or something. And on your map, it'll just have a huge region like circled. And it's up to you to like kind of piece together the clues. And it's the same way they unfold the story too. There's no big lore dumps in this game. It's all what you find. You might find some notes. You might find like an old computer terminal with little pieces of information. And you really cobble the story together yourself.
I guess it's realistic in that way.
Yeah,
like if you were doing it in real life, you wouldn't know everything.
Right. So there's no like NPC character that's just like, here's everything that's going on. And like, this is, which I really, really liked. Yeah, it's just a really interesting game. I think the Rebellion is the company that put it together. You could tell that they were really passionate about this idea. I'm happy to find out that this game was a financial success. So I'd love to see if they continue with doing a follow-up to this game, what they can do, because the blueprint of Atomfall is fantastic. I think they could build on this and make it something that could rival a Fallout maybe someday. But yeah, I really liked it. And for somebody whose gaming time and time is limited, I do really appreciate a 12-hour experience. It's actually like the perfect game to check out of a library because you can finish it and by the time it's due and not feel guilty that you have 100 hours of quests and markers and things. It's just a nice compact little mystery. So yeah, Atomfall. Check it out.
Sounds cool. Kristina,
what do you got?
What do you
Me? Okay, so every year the fantasy subreddit does like a bingo challenge where they create like a bingo board of different like categories or themes or things you find in books to challenge yourself to read and engage with. There's no prize. It's very important to know that
The prize is the books you read along the way.
Yeah, the prize is flair on the subreddit, and also, I guess, forcing yourself to read books you may not have read in the past. This is my second year doing it. Last year, I found the card to be incredibly easy to do with just like what I planned on reading anyway. But this year, I've had to really go out of my way for a lot of the categories. So, like some of the categories this year are like biopunk, which I still don't quite really understand what biopunk is.
Do they give examples?
They do give examples, and in the subreddit itself, they'll post like bingo focus thread and just do like one square so that everyone can be like, here are all the books that you can read that fit this square. I haven't done biopunk yet, so I don't have an example, but like another one is like high fashion. So that's like any book where fashion is really important, any fantasy or science fiction book where fashion is really important. So like I read a book called Torn that is about a woman who like sews charms into dresses for nobles and then gets blackmailed into like doing a curse in one and then regrets it and then like ends up taking out the government. You know how fantasy books work.
That was really a big,
big turn.
finish the owl moment there. Like, just selling some clothes and then destroy the whole government.
Destroy the whole government. And this year they did a fun one, which was not a book. So any speculative anything except a book. So it could be a video game. It could be a board game. I did a TV series, 10th Kingdom.
Oh, did we talk about this?
Yes, and then you were mad at me because I didn't tell you I had watched it in enough time. I had already finished
Let's
it.
rehash that right here on the pod.
Let's duke it out.
And you were like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, in case I didn't like it, I didn't want you to know.
That's fair.
And like in the past, I listed non-fun past squares, but like they did Romantasy last year because like last year was like the first full year that Romantasy was like as big as it was. They've done like non-human protagonists. So it's a lot of fun to try to find the books to fit into these squares. I will say this year I've read a lot of duds because of it. Because, you have to read the whole book. And sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to have to find another book that fits this square. I guess I'll just finish this one. But it's been interesting because then now I know, like, well, that's an author. That's not for me, despite being like one of the most recommended authors on the subreddit, or reading short stories and stuff because that's a category every year. It's just a lot of fun. I think I have completed 19 of the 25
you're almost there.
categories so far. It goes from April to April. I don't know why that in particular. They also release a joke card on April Fool's Day that usually has like a strange theme. Like one year it was bees was the theme. I forget what this year's theme was, but
that's fun. I love those kind of challenges. Like this is why I look forward to our Horrorween challenge. Listeners, get ready. We're doing it again. I love finding like those obscure movies to fit our equally obscure categories. Yeah, I'm already started building my list.
And it is
for
fun
this October.
to do the categories that you wouldn't normally engage with.
Yeah, especially because I'm a mood reader. So like if I'm not in the mood to read something, I'm not going to do it. But I love winning. And even though there's no prize, like that pushes me through.
That flair.
I need that. I have it for last year. The flair is literally just like a brown thing that says reading champion. And then every year you complete it, they add a number to it. So like next year, if I finish, it'll be reading champion 2. And then it keeps going.
It's all about the champion part of it.
Yeah.
It's all about those digital trinkets.
Yeah.
Non-fungible tokens.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do anything.
That is.
Tori, you're up next.
So all 3 of my things that I'm going to talk about are connected, but only in ways that make sense to me, because they happen because of each other. So my next thing is crochet, which is also Kristina's fault, just like Pokemon was, because I mostly am, I do knitting. I do a lot of knitting. I make blankets usually. But back in the spring, Kristina asked me to review a crochet video for something work-related to see if I thought it was good. I was like, I used to crochet a little bit when I was younger, but never anything serious. So I said, it's a good opportunity for me to learn from this video. So I followed it. It was fun. And then I didn't think of it again until around the time I started playing Pokémon Shield. And at the same time, my mom was getting into crocheting again. She used to do it more seriously than I did. So I started looking at patterns that she could make that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff for her to make for you.
Yes, so that I could benefit from her new hobby. And I started looking up kind of complicated Pokemon patterns based on what I was doing in the game. And then I thought, that's not really fair for me to ask her to do these like complicated... ask her to do anything, but to do these complicated patterns that she doesn't even care about. So I said, why don't I just make it myself? And then I did. And it was easier than I expected, since I had never done anything more than crocheting like a scarf when I was younger. So, and it's a good passive activity, because I like to knit, but I'm not good enough at knitting to fix my mistakes. Crocheting, it's very easy to fix your mistakes. So it's been a good activity to take up my time. And I brought some examples of some of my wares.
For the viewers.
For the viewers, aka Alex and Kristina. First of all, this frog.
Wow.
This is called Leggy Frog.
He sure is leggy.
He's got a little blush going on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can post a picture or something.
Yeah.
He can be in the reel. I'm rustling back really loudly. I have another frog.
Wow.
This one's pink. He doesn't have a mouth yet.
So he can't scream.
He can't scream. He's happy all the time, I guess. And then the third and final thing, which this was an illustration to assist so that you know how good it is
This
I
being
made,
score bunny.
yes,
For
I
the
made
listeners.
my own score bunny, who's big.
That's professional.
Look at that American cheese.
Look at that cheese on his face and his feet.
That's amazing.
And now I'm working on making his evolution Cinderace, who's an even bigger bunny. But that's been what my hobby has been. So I've had a hard time like balancing between playing this game and crocheting.
Yeah.
Like I want to make more of these guys, but I also want to play with the guy in the game.
You know what you have to do? When you become the Pokemon champion, you have to crochet your party.
That's what I'm doing.
Right, well, you still have this one?
Well, he
your
grew up.
practice.
Yeah, he grew up into Big Bunny, which I'm making now. But I did try to make one of the other starters, Grookey. He didn't go so well. We'll see.
That was at my request because I love Grookey.
It was just a weird pattern.
He's a little monkey.
He's got a stick.
He
This
does.
looks
He turns into a
incredible.
drummer.
Thank you. For the listeners, it doesn't look that good, but it looks okay.
To Alex's untrained eye.
So I did want to share, since I've been also watching a lot of YouTube while I crochet, and somehow it's ended up being Crochet YouTube, I wanted to share some of my favorite YouTubers that have good and helpful content for people who want to learn. So the person who made the pattern for Score Bunny is named Crochet Tor. Crochet with the T and then Tor, who has really good, accurate patterns for a lot of Pokemon, easy to follow. This is the first thing I've ever really made. And she makes video tutorials where she goes through every single step in a lot of detail and also sells the patterns written out for people who do better with that. But it is exactly what she puts in the video. So if you don't want to spend money and you want to make stuff, she makes other things as well. I think she has some Stardew Valley patterns she goes over, like a Squid Game. I don't know. Then the second one is called TL Yarn Crafts, who makes really easy to follow like educational and instructional video about like the steps of crocheting, like the different types of stitches. She made a really great video that helped me on how to do magic loop, which if you're making plushes or amigurumi as they're called, it's like the basis of every shape is you have to do a magic loop. She makes a great video that teaches you how to do that. And then the third one is the Faded Wildflower Crochet, who's more of sort of like a crochet influencer, but she's very down to earth, and she makes a lot of content. Like she has a series called Will It Ami, where she tests different types of yarn, different brands of yarn to see if they make good toys, because it's her favorite thing to make. And she's very honest about like yarn pricing. She doesn't do like huge yarn hauls and be very wasteful the way a lot of YouTubers for a hobby will do. Like she doesn't have a wall of yarn, and she's very funny and relatable. So she is very fun to watch. And of course, we have a lot of books on Libby and in the library that I've been using as well.
Yeah, nice.
So the hobby of crocheting is what I'm into.
That's inspiring to get me to do something.
I like how it keeps moving closer
It actually belongs to Alex.
I'm just going to take this home with me.
Sorry. Is this a Woobles pattern?
No,
Oh, it looks very Wooble shaped.
it does. That's actually a free YouTube pattern as well. All of what I've made free on YouTube.
Nice. My turn again. I got one more thing to talk that I'm into. It is a book called Abundance by Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson. Ezra Klein is the columnist for the New York Times, and Thompson is a writer for The Atlantic. This book is sort of like a part history book, part policy proposal, I guess you could call it, that kind of examines why the United States, the richest country in the history of the world, has failed to make progress on some of its biggest issues, like housing and infrastructure, and why we haven't kept a pace with scientific breakthroughs and things like that, or medical breakthroughs, which falls under science, let's be honest.
That was a joke just for Alex, just for himself.
So the authors, they don't really place blame on any like one political party or even one administration, but they instead highlight like a myriad of mistakes that the government has made over the years, bad political, policy decisions and things like that. A few of them like include like overregulation of cities and that have like stymied progress. And then like the growth or investment aversion that the government has, where we used to fund huge projects like research projects and we just don't do that anymore. But basically, if I had to summarize like the goal of this book, or like the treatise of this book. It's to kind of break the mindset that we've kind of had this mindset where we can either be like a progressive society or we can be a wealthy society, meaning like individually wealthy society. And they try to make the point that it's a false dichotomy. We can have both, or we can have something in between. Yeah, it's just a really interesting book. It's thought-provoking. Even if I don't agree with everything in the book, it is interesting to see a different new perspective, or that's being added to the conversation. It got me to think about some issues in a different way. And it doesn't matter where you fall in the political spectrum. This book is not going after any party or anything. So it's pretty apolitical in that way. But I think whatever your beliefs are going to be challenged, and you'll be thinking about issues in a different way, which I think is good. We should all be doing that. So yeah, again, the book is called Abundance. It's by Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson, and I definitely recommend it if this is something that you have any interest in.
That sounds like the kind of book that I would love to get myself to read. Like, it's probably very interesting if you read it, but
there's no dragons, unfortunately.
No dragons.
No romance.
Very little romance.
What is there? But maybe as an audio. Did you do it as audio, or did you read?
I did both.
Good reader?
What's that?
Was the reader good?
The reader?
Of the audiobook?
Oh, I think it was Ezra Klein, if I remember correctly. So yeah, he's a fellow podcaster.
Friend of the pod.
The way you asked, was the reader good? It almost felt like you were asking Alex.
I thought that's what you were referring to a book as.
Were you good while you were reading it? I was calling a book a reader?
Yeah.
Like a clicker for the television?
I'll see myself out.
Yes, I did a good job reading it. And the narrator did a good job reading it as
Everyone
well.
did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Kristina, save me.
Okay. So I recently watched the Final Destination series. So the first 3 were rewatches for me, but if you don't know the basic premise, it's basically the main character has a vision of some disaster that's going to kill him or them or her, whatever, various people. Can I start over? Because I lost my train of thought, really.
You got lost
There's
in
a vision
pronouns.
that everyone's going to die.
There's a vision that everyone's going to die, which they try to prevent and end up saving an amount of people, but you can't escape death. So the movie is basically death coming for these people in the order in which they would have died in the original disaster, and them trying to like stop it or prevent it, or in some cases just to get it to skip them, to buy them some time. Because there's some kind of murky lore here that they really tried to drill into our heads in like the first 2 movies, and then abandoned immediately after, and then tried to come back to it, it's very strange. Tony Todd? Is that Todd? The Candyman? Is that his name? What is the Candyman's name?
Don't say it a third time, please.
Is it?
Are you talking about the director or the
No, the actor. Tony Todd, who played Candyman, or was in Candyman.
There you go. Jeez. Say it
18
one more time.
Now I've said it 5 times, so he can't come.
I have no idea to answer your question.
You famously talked about it, well, not famously, but I guess on the Halloween podcast, where like he got paid per bee sting.
Oh, the act. Okay.
The actor.
I don't forget his name,
Wow,
but I know
Kristina, the lore keeper of the podcast.
that's why she's the star.
So he's in it, and he's like the main lore keeper of the movie, but he's not in all of them. So it's hard for him to keep the lore. And like the first 3 are really good for horror movies.
You rated the second one 2 stars.
Really? The second one?
Yeah.
2 stars? Interesting, because I hadn't seen the 4th one yet.
It's all relative.
It's all relative, because the 4th one, which is titled The Final Destination, as if it was going to be the last one, is one of...
It's not.
It's not. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It, for some reason, is just very casually racist all the time. The KKK is very casually in the movie. And then another character, like...
As the protagonist? What do you mean? Like, they're just... I mean, they have to be playing villains, right? Or...
Well, yeah, but like...
They're catalysts of events in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine a movie about death coming for someone that is a mostly white cast all of the time. And then they start to introduce Black characters. And immediately they also introduce the KKK. It's a wild decision to have made. In the same movie, there is a scene in a hospital where there's like a nurse or someone helping a man, an old man. And the old man, the nurse is of Asian descent. And the guy looks at the nurse and goes, "Yeah, I fought your kind in Vietnam," or something. And
Horrible.
it's like, why? You didn't have to include.
In the fourth movie?
This is all in the fourth movie.
So that's more recent than it should be for a comment like that to be in a movie.
And also one of the deaths, I'm going to spoil it because it's awful.
Can I just clarify for people who aren't familiar? The deaths are absurd in the movies.
The deaths are absurd.
That's the
but
gimmick.
like some of them are fine. It's like, okay, they got to come up with ways to kill these people that are interesting to watch visually, I guess. So in the fourth one, somebody dies by having his gut by a pool filtration system.
Oh, that's from a Chuck Palahniuk book.
Yeah.
That's a reference to literature.
Mm-hmm.
He has a short story that famously he would read it out loud at readings and people would vomit and run out of the room.
Yeah. It's not well done, though.
I wonder if he's credited as a writer on them.
In the movie, it's one of the strangest... because the rest of them, like, they're in a hardware store and someone gets a head full of nails. Like,
she's going to tell us all the deaths from
okay.
Final Destination
You can...
4.
That one's from 3. That's how Instant Star dies.
Also, famously, outside of the podcast, I also told her I was planning to watch the rest of these movies. I've seen the first one and asked for no spoilers.
I'm just preparing you for the nonsense.
I like how you want to continue with the series after hearing all of this.
Well, I gotta see what happens.
Well, then they try
Make
to...
your own judgment.
They try to reel it back in with the 5th one, where they're like, that one was trash.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Jesus Christ, we got to do something. So the 5th one was pretty okay in terms of like the 5th movie in a horror franchise. They really try to bring back the lore and really try to like solidify it. And then there's some bits of lore that get introduced throughout that they kind of like skip over. And then they'll come back to it in this one and be like, well, see, now we're coming back to it.
Talk about lore. What do you mean by lore?
Okay, so...
The history and details that establish the world.
Yeah, so like...
Well, I know what the definition of lore is. But like, is there like there's like histories of this happening in the past, you mean? And there's like...
No. So in the... the lore being basically you can't cheat death. And death follows a set of rules.
Uh-huh.
Isn't there like a guy in the first movie that like explains that?
Yeah, Tony Todd.
Excuse me. Sorry, Tony.
From Between the Shelves fame.
His name is Bloodworth and he's the medical examiner. So he explains the lore that you can't escape death is essentially all it is. She's going to get you no matter what, and she has rules she has to follow. The movie is them trying to like figure out ways to circumvent them. And like they figure out a couple of ways. Like they figure out that you can get skipped if someone like intervenes and saves you. Then death will move on to the next person. And then you basically just have to keep doing that for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
And I did this to prepare for Final Destination Bloodlines, which I feel like really solidifies the lore.
Sure. I'm sure
But
this
I
one's
don't
really going
know.
to wrap it all up.
It's also Tony Todd's last film because he passed away.
Can't make a movie without Bloodworth.
But they did. One of them does not feature Bloodworth at all. And one of them is only his voice. And he's not even playing Bloodworth. He's playing like a roller coaster. That's in the 3rd one.
He's playing a roller coaster. No follow-up questions.
He's the voice of the... You know how like themed roller coasters, they have some kind of setup? He's the setup voice for the themed roller coaster.
Tori, what are you into?
Okay.
Let's end this episode on a gracefully.
On a similar...
On a really happy note.
On a related note, my 3rd thing, which is connected to the first 2 things, is Les Mis, the musical Les Mis, which I guess is related in that it's upsetting and dour. For anyone who's not familiar, Les Mis is a musical. Well, it's a book, but by Victor Hugo. I'm talking about the musical based on the book. It's about the June Rebellion that occurred in France in 1832. It's not about the French Revolution. Some background about me and Les Mis. I was supposed to go see it on Broadway for a school trip in high school. The AP history classes would go every year. The year that it was my turn to go, it closed. So I did not get to see it. So I've never seen a live production of Les Mis, one of the most famous popular musicals of all time. We did sing songs from it, a medley in high school, and I went to see the movie when it came out. And there's a tour that's constantly going that never comes to New York because we have Broadway, where it isn't playing currently. So I've always been Les Mis adjacent as a Broadway fan, but I've never gotten to see it. So I needed something to watch while I was crocheting, so I picked Les Mis. Mm-hmm. There are famously a lot of versions of it that you can watch that are filmed, despite it being like a Broadway show and a West End show that's still running sometimes. So here are the versions that I've watched so far. I watched the 10th anniversary concert, aka the Dreamcast from 1995, which I will say right off the bat, if you're going to watch one, that's a really good one to watch. It's got some of the most famous cast members from worldwide productions at that time, like Australian production, Broadway, West End, really good mix of cast members. Then I watched, they're not in chronological order, they're in the order I watched them. Les Mis, the staged concert from 2019, which is notable because the original Marius, Michael Ball, was Javert, for better or worse, and Carrie Hope Fletcher, who's famous for being the original Bad Cinderella, was Fantine. I didn't like her as Fantine, but she was in it. Then I watched the 25th anniversary concert from 2010, which had an excellent cast of Norm Lewis as Javert, and Ramin Karimloo as Enjolras, and, unfortunately, Nick Jonas as Marius. He is not bad.
Poor Nick Jonas. He cannot be in a Broadway show without getting ripped apart.
He can't.
Well, he was in Beauty and the Beast, right? And nobody...
Well, he was also in Les Mis as a child and was fine then. He played Gavroche, but that's like a cute Cockney child. And this was like a serious, like, adult role next to real Broadway stars. He tried. So after that, I watched Les Mis the movie from 2012. I spit on that.
Wow. Anne Hathaway.
The only saving graces of that movie, I would say, Colm Wilkinson plays the bishop, which is a very small role, but Colm Wilkinson is the original Jean Valjean, and he is incredible. He's in the 10th anniversary concert. And then Aaron Tveit is in it. I didn't like him in it, but he's in it.
He's in it.
He's in it. And then the final one that I'm currently watching is a high school production that is on YouTube from the King's Academy. So if you look it up, it's on there, the full thing. It's a surprisingly professional production for a high school, like, Les Mis. It is 2.5 hours, but it's got, like, multiple camera angles going on. It's got editing where they, like, put stuff in the foreground and the background. It's got a really good set. And some of the students are very vocally talented. Specifically, whoever played Valjean, whoever played Thénardier, and whoever played Cosette. There's no names given. I also don't know where the school is. There's no details given. It's just posted.
How did you even find it?
I was trying to find the 25th anniversary concert for free online to watch, because the 10th is on YouTube. So I just searched, like, Les Mis concert, and that's the first thing that came up, and I went, oh, okay, good, and clicked on it. And then I thought, what is this? I've never heard of this one. And that's what it was.
Good for them.
Good for them. It's got, like, a lot of views. And these specific teen performers are, like, very good. Almost, not Broadway quality, but they could get there.
When's it from?
Who knows?
Well, YouTube...
It was posted 5 years ago.
Okay, I was like, well, YouTube
like
tells you
It's like a haunted tape. There's no information at all by an anonymous
I hope this isn't
uploader.
a Final Destination situation.
You're going to die when you finish
I might.
it, so you can
So
never finish it.
But yeah, there's no identifying information at all posted on the video. No description in the caption. Like,
I go to find the link to this video to post it in our show notes. It's gone.
You weren't supposed to watch this.
No one was supposed to watch this. But it is very good. Although, when you can tell that it's a high school student, you can really tell. Like, some of the edits they made are incomprehensible. There's like a major plot line where one of the characters in Les Mis is a prostitute, famously. So a lot of high school productions will change that to make it more palatable and more appropriate. They didn't change it, but they changed some of the lyrics so that it was less clear, but only some of them. Also, there's a song called Master of the House, where at the end of the song there's a line where they say, everybody raise a glass, raise it up the master's ass. But they changed it to, everybody sing a song, sing it till the break of dawn, which doesn't mean the same thing.
Not at all.
It changes the meaning of the song. So that kind of thing was happening. But it's very interesting to watch. I'm out of, like, musical versions, so now next on deck are movie versions. There's one with Liam Neeson and there's one with John Malkovich. So we'll see where that takes me. But I think the nice thing about it, especially since a lot of these are concert versions, is the story's unclear. The story's unimportant. Like, sometimes they will have, like, visual cues on the screen to tell you, like, what year it's supposed to be or, like, where they are. But they're really just singing the songs, maybe doing a little bit of acting. I think the 10th anniversary one had, like, some silent scenes of activity happening. Like, in the beginning, the first song is, like, a bunch of slaves in jail, like, doing work. So they showed, like, what that would look like if you were watching the Broadway show. So since none of them are very focused on the story itself, it doesn't get boring because I just like the songs.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of lyric changes over the 40 years since it first debuted. So every time I watch it, I go, what did they just say? Because they have changed what I thought was an important lyric. So that keeps it interesting. And the casting changes.
Nice. What's your dream cast?
Oh, I wasn't prepared for that.
I'll cut.
No, I can do it. I think as Javert, either I think Philip Quast or Norm Lewis. Jean Valjean has to be Cole Wilkinson, or if he's unavailable because he's in his 80s, I would take John Owen Jones, who is in none of these versions, but he's very good. As Cosette, Judy Kuhn. Yeah, as Fantine, maybe Lea Salonga. As Eponine, unclear. Haven't really loved any of them. As Marius, Michael Ball. Who's left? Gavroche, it doesn't matter. They all sound the same. They all sound like a weird child.
Josh Gad, you're bringing in for that role. Doesn't matter.
We're aging him up. The Thénardiers, Matt Lucas did a very good version of the man Thénardier. And I unfortunately don't really know any of the ladies' names who've played that role, except for Helena Bonham Carter, but not her. Enjolras, any handsome guy, I think Ramin Karimloo, or there's a guy from the 2019 stage concert whose name escapes me, but he was very good and then became Javert afterwards, but I don't think that was appropriate. He was and is a very good Enjolras. People say he looks like a Chad Daniel Radcliffe. Chadcliffe. So yeah, that's my dream cast.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Producers, get producing on that.
All of these people are the wrong ages to be playing any of the characters I named, but it's okay. Do another concert.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this episode. Thank you all for sharing what you're into. And listeners, go out and check all those things out.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Between the Shelves.